Hi devs, welcome back to another part. So in the last part we kind of added code to all these buttons. The only thing that we haven't actually done now is probably the most important part, which is the backup function. So we're going to do that in this part. So if we just double click on this button here, it'll create a backup click stub. And inside this, in fact, we'll create a new function that is just for this backup process. So let's do private void, and we'll call it directory copy, and then we're going to pass through 3 parameters. So the first one being a string, and that's going to be the source directory. And then a string, and that's going to be the destination directory. Let's put dest directory, and then whether we want to copy the subdirectories or not. So we'll just pass through a bool. Copy subdirs. So first of all, I want to see if, in fact, right, before I do that, actually, I'll come back to that in a second. I just wanted to, because I want to name the directory that we're going to be sending it to, otherwise it's just going to put all the files in the root. So if I chose desktop/leadmb and I were copying it to say documents/leadmb, it will copy everything from the leadmb folder into the leadmb folder, and we'd want to create a subfolder so it's all neatly inside a subdirectory, if that makes sense. But I'll come back to that. So first of all, we want to use something called directory info. So get the subdirectories for the specific directory. So we'll do directory info equals new directory info, and we want that to be our source directory. Directory. So that's going to get all the folders inside there, and then we want to say if directory info dot exists. So if it doesn't exist, then we're going to throw new directory not found exception. Source, the source directory doesn't exist or may be corrupt. And then, sorry, that's not right. And then we'll just put source directory. actually don't need to make that. Take up a little bit less room. So directory info, make it an array, dirs equals dir info dot get directories, and then we want to combine the paths, so we'll say var, in fact no, we'll come back to that one again. That's another one with adding the extra name. So then we want to get the files, get files in the directory, and copy them to the new location. Directory again, sorry. So file info files equals dir info dot get files, and then we're doing a for each loop. File info file in files string, create a temp path, equals system.io dot path dot combine, and then we're going to combine the destination directory with file dot file dot name and then we'll do file dot copy to temp path, and then overwrite, we're going to put true for now. We might add a settings where we will choose whether we want to do that or not. But I'll come back to that. So now we want to copy the subdirectories. Actually, we'll put if copying subdirs, copy them and their content to new location. So if copy does for each directory info subdir in dir info, then we'll say string temp path equals path dot combine, destination and subdir dot name. System dot io dot path combine. Can operate a variable type because it does not contain a public instance. So bear with me 2 seconds while I figure this out. Okay, I'm using the wrong one, that's why. It's actually DIRs. So then we want to say directory copy subdirs dot full name temp path copy subdirs. And that's pretty much everything I think that we need in that little bit. So we're checking to see if the directory exists. Then we're going to get the directories within directory info, which is the original directory. We're going to get the files from in there, and then we're going to copy all the files to the new directory that we've created. And then if we've allowed it to copy the subdirectories, then it's also going to rerun through this with each directory. If that makes sense, hopefully it does. But I'll give you a quick example. Obviously, before we create that, I forgot to actually add it to the button clicks. So now we just need to put directory copy. So from location textbox.text to location textbox.text, and then true, because we want to copy them subdirectories too. So let's just give that a quick run. I've added 2 folders just so we can see. Inside this folder is just a text file that's called test, and inside it I've written testing, and then to just quickly show you. So from inside here is a test. 2, there's nothing inside here, but if we run this, fingers crossed, from, then it'll work. So click, nothing's happened, but if we come over here, and this is the 2 folder, if I open that and it's got the file in it, let's just add a little bit more to this. So add folder, test folder, make sure that we'll just put this inside there, and make sure that that's copying properly. So back up. Well, it's because we've already got folders inside. Let's just try that again. Could not find a port. Let me just empty. Let me just empty the 2. I'm not sure if that might be what's causing it. Could not find a part. Just bear with me 2 seconds while I figure out what's happened. Okay, so I figured out what the issue was, and it's a big issue actually because I haven't actually created the directory. So underneath directory info, we will say void. So we need to combine the name and the. In fact, we don't even need to do that. We'll just say directory.create directory and then destination. Oh no, sorry, days. No, dest directory. There we go. That should work now. It's because I added a directory inside of the directory and it couldn't do it. So I actually added the underscore on these just in case it was that, but yeah, I realized it isn't that. So I'm going to save them. And now when I back it up, there's no errors. So let's have a look from and to. As you can see, it's added them. Great. So that's working. We can open our file. I think that's it. I think we've done it. Yeah, that's it. That's the end of that. We could add a progress bar to the bottom of this. I don't know if that's what you want. If you do want to see me add a progress bar, then just comment underneath and say, I don't know, add progress bar, and I'll know that people are interested. And if you are, then I can do that for you in the next part. But other than that, I'm just going to leave it here. I hope you've enjoyed this little series. Please make sure you like it. If you got any questions, leave a comment, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.